Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on about episodes 13 through 23, about the last 10 for Dragon Ball Super. So, spoiler warning, if you guys are not caught up on Dragon Ball Super, I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on it updated now that I've been able to actually catch up on the show and give my thoughts on what's happened for a while since, of course, with The Walking Dead and all the videos I do on Sundays for that, my reviews for Dragon Ball Super got, pushed, unfortunately, aside, and I just didn't get time to keep up with it. So, last episode I reviewed, I think it was about episode 12. It was called The Universe Crumbles, the God of Destruction versus Super Saiyan God, so Beerus versus Gokū. And since then, we've had about 10 more episodes. At this point, episode 24 is going to be hitting in Japan on Sunday. That's December 20th. It's called The Clash, Frieza versus Son Goku. This is the result of my training. So just finished watching episode 23, which is Earth, Gohan, a desperate situation, hurry back, Son Goku. So, last 10 episodes of the show. So, watched them all pretty much marathon through because I fell behind. Liked them for the most part. You guys know that I've kind of been, on and off with Dragon Ball Super. Was insanely excited when it first started. Then got into it and kind of fell off a little bit, part of the way through. Once we kind of realized they were just basically retelling the events of the movies, was a little bit disappointed that that's what they were doing, and that we weren't getting a fully new series, that it was going to be retelling the movie Battle of Gods and Resurrection of Frieza movie, which are both great, by the way, two of the best Dragon Ball movies ever, right up there with Broly's movie, the first one. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. Kind of got over it after a few episodes, and around when I stopped doing the reviews was actually the point when I was almost enjoying it the most. I've actually enjoyed it even more since then with a lot of the new stuff that they've included, because they are expanding on the storyline that we saw in the movies quite a bit. You have a lot of time that wasn't shown in the movies, really, with Vegeta and Goku training with Whis, and then, of course, Beerus waking up afterwards. And then, of course, the part with Frieza being resurrected was really cool, because it's kind of like in this form you're seeing it as if it's happening in Dragon Ball Z, the regular series, like Dragon Ball Super, the follow-up series, so to speak. So this is like canon anime. It's not like a movie event, but it's like just regular shows seeing Frieza come back to life. I do have some issues though with the Frieza stuff, and I have enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoyed them even bringing back Captain Ginyu. I love the flashback sequences where they'll show a clip from Dragon Ball Z, even in its old animation, when it applies to the story and the things that happened in the past before, like Krillin seeing Frieza again, and getting the kind of the PTSD from what happened last time. And they really worked those in well. I liked a lot of those, liked all the training, and I liked the fact that we get to see Frieza come back and them getting the Dragon Balls and them doing that. I enjoyed that all quite a bit in this version, even though maybe Resurrection F is still kind of the better way to watch it. For a quick reference, if you want to watch it in the future, which would you watch, this version of the series or the movie? But this version of the series does have an advantage, too, that you get to see a lot more of it fleshed out. You get to see more training. You get to see more time with Frieza and that, and it's not so quickly gone through. You get to see a little bit more, so I can see if people like this version better than the Resurrection F movie. So we see him come back. Now, I have some issues with Frieza coming back. It seems like he basically comes back from the dead in the same state, for the most part, that he was in when he was killed on Earth by Trunks. I mean, future Trunks. He even comes back in pieces, and they have to kind of put him back together, so to speak, his minions. And so then I guess he goes and he trains for 4 months, and that's enough to become Gold Frieza and become this uber powerful character, which, I mean, they kind of explain it, like where they say that he never really trained too much. He was just gifted naturally. And once he starts to train, boom, he's able to just leap forward with this new gold form and become just uber powerful enough so that in the next few episodes, he's going to fight Goku as in his, Super Saiyan God mode form, I guess. His blue God mode form. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, if you want to be technical, I suppose. Gets a little ridiculous after a while. It's just a different color. And it looks cool, and I'm fine with that. So then we're going to see very soon that fight between the two of them. But I don't think 4 months makes sense for Frieza to train for, to be able to face Goku at that point. I mean, 4 months is like nothing compared to like one session in the hyperbolic time chamber, is more than Frieza trains for. To be able to mess with Super Saiyan God Goku, it's quite the stretch. I think they should have done something else with it, to where when he was in hell, I did like the parts where Frieza's in hell and there's all these like fairies and stuffed animals dancing around him, and that's Frieza's that's Frieza's hell, because he's such an evil bastard. He loves the darkness and evil, so they make it all bright and stuff. That's the way his personal hell is in Dragon Ball, which is pretty funny. But and I did like that. But he just comes out, it's like, oh, okay, he's going to train for 4 months, and now he's going to mess with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta? Like, it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make any sense that that's even possible in such a short period of time. So those are kind of my thoughts on it. It's kind of a cop-out. That said, it's cool to see Frieza back. It's cool to see him and Goku finally going to fight. I do have some issues with the part where Frieza's army attacks and they're fighting with the 5 Z fighters. I think it's 5 or 6 that are there. You have like kind of the bare bones Z fighters minus Goku, minus Vegeta, even in the end, minus the androids, minus Android 18, Krillin and Piccolo and the rest. It's weird to me that Frieza's army is able to mess with them after only 4 months of training. I mean, Mystic Gohan should be able to thwomp Frieza in no time with no trouble after 4 months of training, in my opinion. So it's a little messy, I think. And they kind of try to explain it by having concentrated blasts, hit certain characters when they're not aware of it, so that you'll have like one character, like Gohan will be fighting one minion, so to speak, and then another one will shoot through the back, and then, it'll go through Gohan too, which, is in the Resurrection F movie, but I never really liked it that much that you have God Goku who gets hit like that, because if you have Beerus or somebody like that, if they tried the same thing on Beerus, that wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be effective. So it's a little messy, and I think they tried to kind of explain it away by having it like that. Having it so that characters are able to just kind of blast through, and that's able to go through them, this kind of deal. I guess what I'm saying is that I think it's a little messy the way they did it, and I don't think it fits 100% canon with the rest of the series. If you have someone get shot or something with bullets earlier on at the beginning of Z, it's just nothing. Like Raditz can catch them, and this kind of deal. I guess you can make sense that if they're relaxed, because we have seen parts where maybe Goku will be in Super Saiyan just chilling, and maybe Krillin or somebody will throw a rock at him or hit him or something, and it will actually hurt him because he had his guard down. I just think it's a little messy. It felt a little weird watching it that you have that that group that gets beaten basically by Frieza's group, including Piccolo, who is able to mess with Android 17. It's just I guess they have to kind of explain it away to have it make sense. So yeah, I'm not 100% the biggest fan of it. I think that the way they did the story doesn't entirely make sense to me. But that said, we have to let it slide. It's Dragon Ball. It's not going to always make sense. The power levels are kind of crazy sometimes. And okay, I guess we can give Frieza his gold power up. Granted, I guess that he can fight God Goku. Which again, granted, okay, whatever. That said, the art has been awesome lately. I really like the colors and everything. Looks great. The series has been looking really good, and I have been enjoying it quite a bit. To see this marathon through was really fun. That's probably one of the funnest things to do with anime. If you get behind for a while, you can watch like 10 or 20 episodes of something straight through, and it's just so awesome, so exciting to watch. So those are kind of my thoughts on it. There are some issues, I think, with it that don't quite fit or make sense 100% for me. But that said, you can kind of understand too with Gohan and that, because it's not like he's been doing anything forever. I mean, he's gotten really weak, even though he's got his mystic form and stuff, and Super Saiyan form. He hasn't been doing anything. So I guess you could say maybe he's forgotten how to fight or something, or they are susceptible in terms of durability. They're not as durable as I always thought they kind of were. I always felt like they were pretty durable, so that a character, even if they were low power level, and then you have somebody as like Majin Buu, even if Majin Buu's not looking and he gets blasted by somebody, it doesn't go right through him. It doesn't hurt him. It's just like he just stands there, or maybe Cell, because if this theory holds true, then Vegeta's final flash should have killed Cell 100%. At least that's the way I see it. So let me know what you guys have been feeling about Dragon Ball Super, if you've been watching it for the last while. And sorry I didn't get more reviews out for you guys sooner, but I definitely wanted to catch up now, that just for my own entertainment to watch it, because I love the show, and to let you guys know my thoughts, those of you guys who subscribe for Dragon Ball, because there are some, what I thought about the episodes. I've enjoyed them like crazy. I don't want to sound all negative or sound like, like I didn't enjoy. I've enjoyed them a lot. I just think there's a few things here and there a little weird. But I'm still excited to see the battle between Frieza and Goku in this version, because it should be different from the movie, and it should look pretty cool. So let me know what you guys have been feeling about Dragon Ball Super. If you've been watching it, write your comments below. And if you like this video, you can thumb it up below. If you want to support the channel, you can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again real soon for another. I may review episode 24 this weekend. Maybe. I'll see how it goes. Always a Trev, saying peace.